Hello. Welcome to this service of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst. We are so glad you have decided to join us in worship today. I'm Reverend Michelle Buhite, and I'm the minister of this congregation. Today's service features my colleague in ministry, Reverend Amy Beltaine. Amy and I met in seminary at Meadville Lombard Theological School, and upon graduating, I went into parish ministry, and Amy went into community ministry and spiritual direction. Now, one of the silver linings of doing virtual church during this pandemic time is that it is possible to welcome into our pulpit those who might otherwise live too far away to actually be with us. Well, Reverend Amy Beltaine is coming to us today from Portugal. I trust that you will find her message uplifting and inspiring. We begin our time together by lighting the chalice. The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of our commitment to bring more justice and compassion to a hurting world. May the flame we ignite burn brightly in our hearts and shine through our lives.
Calling on the wise ones of the past, calling on the present generation. Help us keep our feet upon the calling on the spirits of the future, or calling on the lifetimes yet to come. Send courage to the present generations. Help us find the strength to carry on. Calling on the spirits of the ancients, calling on the wise ones of the past. Illuminate the vision of the people. Help us keep our feet upon the path. Calling on the guardians of the planet, calling on our people now alive, with vision of the past and memory of the future, claiming our power to survive. Calling on the spirits of the future, calling on the lifetimes yet to come. Send courage to the present generations. Help us find the strength to carry on. Calling on the spirits of the ancients, calling on the wise ones of the past. Illuminate the vision of the people. Help us keep our feet upon the path.
We are together, yet not together. We are in a circle of relationship and mutuality. We are in a circle of intention. We are in a circle created by electronics and networks. We are in a circle created by human hearts and minds and spirits, in a time taken out of our day-to-day and set aside to be together in shared reflection, joy, and sorrow, in shared community. In the words of Mary Oliver, you do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese high up in the clean blue air are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Come, let us worship together.
Hey, Angela, nice to see you.
Hi, Michelle. It's great to see you too. I'm really looking forward to Amy's service.
Same here. And I am so glad that we get to share this time for all ages. It has been so long since we've told a story together.
It really has. And this is such a great story. It's one of those wisdom tales that every culture has their own version of. Nobody really knows where it came from.
Our version is entitled Men at Work. How about you be the storyteller, and I'll just add a little drama here and there.
That sounds good. During the Middle Ages, a traveler once came upon a place in France where a great deal of building work was going on. He began talking with the stonecutters and asking them about their work. He approached the first worker and asked, "What are you doing?" The man,
I am cutting these huge boulders with the simplest of tools and putting them together in this way that I've been told to do. I'm sweating in this heat and my back is hurting. What's more, I'm totally bored and I wish I did not have to do this meaningless and hard work.
the traveler moved on quickly to interview a second worker. He asked the same question. "What are you doing?"
Well, I have a wife and children at home, so I come here every morning and I work these boulders into regular shapes, as I'm told to do. It gets repetitive sometimes, but it helps to feed my family, and that's all I want.
Somewhat encouraged, the traveler went on to a third worker. "And what are you doing?" he asked. The third worker responded with shining eyes as he pointed up to the heavens.
I'm building a cathedral.
We are the flow and we are the ebb. We are the weavers, we are the web. We are the flow and we are the ebb. We are the weavers, we are the web. We are the flow and we are the ebb. We are the weavers, we are the web. We are the flow and we are the ebb. We are the weavers, we are the web. We are the flow and we are the ebb. We are the weavers, we are the web. We are the flow and we are the ebb. We are the weavers, we are the web. We are the flow and we are the ebb. We are the weavers, we are the web. We are the flow and we are the ebb. We are the weavers, we are the web. We are the flow and we are the ebb. We are the weavers, we are the web. We are the flow and we are the ebb.
This week, I was doing the work I had studied for and yearned for. I facilitated a spiritual potluck for the Cherry Hill Seminary community, and I did research for writing for Sunday services on love and navigating the borderlands. I counseled a family struggling with the loss of someone dear to them, and spent time companioning individuals through deep reflection, grief, and painful growth. Then I looked at Facebook and witnessed frightened people making extreme claims about saving or killing people and Dr. Fauci as God or devil. Every day on TV and in conversation, we grapple with global climate chaos, escalation of hatred and violence, and border walls and border closures. Ouch. I notice my spiritual reserves get used up. In an instant, my rich and green and juicy is gone. After an hour on Facebook, I am dry. It is physician heal thyself time. I'm reminded of my time as a hospital chaplain, going from room to room and feeling helpless. Can I even make the smallest bit of difference? But walking into the next room anyway. My family is dedicated to making the world a better place. My sister walked in the Great Peace March of 1986 and worked for nonprofits like Greenpeace and the League of Women Voters. My brother-in-law advocates for solar energy and energy conservation, and my spouse studied natural resource management. As you can see, I'm surrounded. We have that in common. We're faithful to the work that must be done. We also have something else in common. Most of us have trouble doing the work sustainably, sustaining ourselves. I look back at the workers and activists in the 1900s who labored impossible hours and then created a movement demanding a living wage and hours. Though they spoke many different languages, they found a way to communicate and prevail in the factory towns. They sang a song together. Here's the words. Step by step, the longest march can be won. Many hands form an arch, singly none. And by union, what we will can be accomplished still. Drops of water turn a mill, singly none. I find myself singing this song when remaining faithful to the work drains me. Why is it so nourishing? Perhaps because I learned it at a campfire under starlit firs with people creating a gentler, more loving world. Perhaps because it's sung by people like the amazing John McCutcheon. Singers like John and Aretha, Pete Seeger and Mahalia Jackson knew how to bring people together to join hearts and make a difference. The word union in the song can mean trade unions. It could also mean the union of hearts, the love we offer to one another when we say, your problem is my problem. I'd like to invite us to sing together. The song is I Will Be Gentle with Myself by Labana, performed by Labana, and thank you to Susan for giving us permission to sing it. I'll offer some American Sign Language movements so you can sing with your body and learn some more language if you don't already know this. I will be gentle, pat the bunny. With myself, I will love myself. I am a child. You can rock the child in your arms and gaze into their face. Of the universe, the letter U in a circle. Being born, the tree comes up from the earth. Each moment, the sun goes across the sky. And as you sing it, I invite you into a meta practice, which means each time you sing it, you're going to expand your circle of compassion. First time through, Labana will sing, and then we will sing with them. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. And then we'll expand to the community. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. We are all children of the universe, being born each moment. The next time through, we'll expand the circle to the whole world. And the last time through, we expand the circle to those folks that we might have a little trouble feeling compassion for. So please join me in singing.
I will be gentle with myself, I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. I will be gentle with myself, I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born
work we are faithful to is the great work, the work of creating a better world. The great work is in motion. Much is underground, but it is happening. For instance, the Occupy movement continues to morph and be reborn. The Great Peace March was in 1986, but the peace movement continues. Racial justice awareness with Say Her Name, outrage at babies in cages, undoing the doctrine of discovery, and Black Lives Matter, protecting our blue boat home, the water protectors of Standing Rock and Greta Thunberg. The Me Too campaign. Acts of kindness as people show up to care for others in hospitals by sewing masks and imagining a new normal in the face of pandemic. And success is imaginable. After the 2016 election, membership in UU congregations and the League of Women Voters grew, and organizations like Indivisible came on the scene. The 2018 US military budget was increased over the 2017 amount by more than 80 billion, but only 80 million would grant access to clean water, social services, and basic education for the world's poor for 10 years. That's 1/5 of the 400 million that CNBC reports the Koch brothers pledged for 2018's midterm elections. I just listed a whole bunch of causes, and we can get distracted into individual cause competition. So let's go deeper. There is only one cause worth working for, and that deeper cause is love. Several years ago, my friend John Beckett wrote a piece entitled The Care and Feeding of Activists. In it, he asks questions that get to the heart of the work. Why do you do what you do, and what gives you strength? Why do we do what we do? Why do we work so hard? Because there is something we are building, something of worth. Because we love this world and this life we were born into and want to make it better. Because we love the people and plants and animals and rocks and air, and we wish for all beings to be at peace, happy, and well. And what gives us strength? The love of others for us, the knowledge that we do not have to work alone, and faith and hope that there is more love. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. John Beckett writes, we're building a temple to the highest virtues and values known to humanity. I agree. We are building a temple to love and justice. These are the only monuments that generate ever widening circles of energy and life. I can see the temple in my mind. You probably can too, but it is morphing and getting better as we go. There was a foundation on the ground when I started work, a foundation laid by our ancestors. The Bread and Roses marchers, the Votes for Women agitators, the civil rights protesters, Cesar Chavez, Emma Goldman, Assata Shakur. My work is to bring my stones and rocks and pebbles to place on top. Some weeks I see signs of progress. Other weeks I feel like I've been working my patootie off and nothing has changed. Or someone snuck in and tore something beautiful down. This temple is a massive undertaking, but I trust that when I can't lay stones anymore, someone's going to pick up where I left off. They won't have to start over from the ground. And if they don't finish, someone will come along after them. Many hands build an arch, singly none, singly none. 3 paths of change are needed. Joanna Macy talks about the 3 paths where more love is needed. There are 3 parts of activism, and each part is important. They are the threads of the tapestry we are weaving. First path, holding back the injustice and destruction. This part of the great work includes documenting protests, vigils, boycotts, campaigning for laws, whistleblowing, promoting regulations, lobbying, truth-telling, service work like soup kitchens, warming centers, and health clinics. This work buys time, but does not go upriver to change the underlying causes of inequity. By necessity, we try to focus on one cause at a time: gay, Black, trans, poor, immigrant, environmental destruction, species extinction. This path feels exhausting and never ending, and this path is necessary. Holding back injustice and destruction. Second path, unraveling and reweaving. This part of the great work includes dismantling failed and destructive systems and weaving new ones. Education and study of what has failed, going upriver, tiny houses, conflict resolution, skill building, land trusts, conservancies, alternative energy, cooperatives, community banks, eco-housing, community gardens, alternative currency, reliable communication systems that bypass the mainstream media. Often, it seems like the alternative systems get torn as we weave them, but it is rewarding to unravel the root of a problem. Weave and mend, my friends. Weave and mend. Third path, vision and spirit. This part of the great work is the way we stay connected to love. It involves shifting our worldview to a sense of divine immanence. Engaged Buddhism, ecofeminism, deep ecology, music, art, systems theory, Gaia theory, liberation and creation theologies, local food, shamanic, mystical, and pagan traditions, allyship. As my scientist spouse reminds me, our world is interconnected on a molecular and a chemical and a physical level. This third path is of oneness, of the holy, of magic, of mystery, of hope and love. So many things call out to us to be done. Something for everyone. You don't have to do all three. You don't have to do it all. We are all one with the infinite sun. You do have to do something. There are forces working against us, against the healing of the world. These forces stop us, distract us, push us off our paths. Fear, pain, frustration, guilt, despair, dishonesty or denial, discomfort with conflict, powerlessness. When we are pushed off the path of activism, we need love to invite us back. I've been at this saving the world work for quite a few years, and it can get pretty frustrating. I've spent as much time in despair as in hope. I watch my heroes screw up and fail and think, if these extraordinary people can't do it, how in the world can I? When we feel shame for our paltry offerings, we've been visited by imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is the voices saying, you can't do it. You won't make a difference. You are too small or too loud or too quiet or too dumb or too something to be effective or make any difference at all. Often it seems like the fabric of our world has been torn asunder, and the weaving and mending and stitching it will take to put that beautiful tapestry back together again is well beyond my puny skill and strength. But wait, get thee behind me, imposter syndrome. We are small and imperfect. We are flawed, and it is our grappling with our flaws that makes the world a better place. In fact, it is perhaps the best thing we can do. We can't do it alone, and we don't have to. We are not alone. We have each other. We can't afford to lose anyone, certainly not to preventable things like burnout or fatigue or self-doubt. We need sustainable resources, and that includes sustainable activists. We can't change our destructive course without rousing ourselves and bringing our small, imperfect stones to the pile. Sometimes our stones are misshapen. Bring them anyway. Sometimes our stones feel small and insignificant. Bring them anyway. Show up. Bring your vulnerability. Bring your love and show up. Come, come, whoever you are. I've developed some sustainability techniques that work for me. Back when my spouse and I were first dating, Hawthorne asked me, how did you do it? How did you go back every day to do the chaplaincy at the hospital when there are so many hurting people in situations you can't fix? My answer is, I wasn't hearing those stories of pain and violence and despair alone. I had divine love with me, draped over my shoulders, listening with me and loving with me. That, and I would walk by the newborn baby's window at least once per day. These days, I don't have the baby's window, but I do have my soft-eared beagle and some new techniques. One technique is to have a designated person who can say, go home, or go to bed, or say no to this one. Another technique is recognizing when I'm nearing burnout. Getting upset over tiny things, that's when I know it's time for a handoff. A third technique is to be present to myself in the way that I am present to others. And always, always, there is singing. This is the day we have been given. Let us rejoice in it. And may we feel the love that flows from our hands to all of life. And may we feel the love that flows to us. May we weave and mend. May we each bring our own small stone of work, knowing that what we love can be saved. Go in peace. Go in love. Go together. Amen. And blessed be.
Thank you for joining us in worship today. Please see the credits at the end of this service for information about the music and other worship elements. And do take a moment to visit our website, uuamherst.org, and click on the giving link, or text your gift to 833-987-1968. We now extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Travel light and travel easy, till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy, and remember I'm your friend.